showing out. Speaking of Miss Rose, I have a short story to tell about her. She's a hustler. She's a real hustler.
But I love it.
This is what really got me, right? Like sitting, like kind of in your position, right? Just trying to learn how to get started with real estate, credit, funding, and so forth. I'm just sitting there just brand spanking new, and she shares a story about how you need to make some money, but you had a gift, making pies. So you went to the grocery store and asked the lady, the cashier, right, to say over the intercom that this lady is selling pies out her car. Or you made that
the grocery store.
Yeah, on the intercom. And she said, "Whoa, like, hey, y'all want some pies? Follow me to my car." Turns back, walks away. She turns around and she sees a lot of people following her to her car to sell pies. And this was around the holidays, right?
It was a Valentine.
Valentine.
And I needed $250 on Valentine's Day, and I didn't know how I was going to get it.
I'm pretty sure you got more than $250.
And I raised $500 that week.
Right. And then when I heard that, I was like, wow, that's amazing. There's no shortage of success.
Oh, it's not.
Right? The money's out there. You just gotta have an abundance mindset. We all got this. Whether it's you being able to create finance deals or creatively make a pop, you can all make money. You can all make that wake up whenever you feel like the money, right? Who wants to make that wake up whenever they feel like the money? All right, by show of hands, who's already making some wake up whenever they feel like the money? Let's give a round of applause. Right? And what I would do, just give you a little tidbit, right? First thing I would do at a networking event, if I found 2 or 3 people who actually own some properties, I would attack them. Attack mode. He's like, nah, but I wish I could take that back. All right, well, let's go ahead and get started. So that's the reason why I came here. It's because of people like Miss Rose and Dwayne, just to give me that motivation to get started. Because it's difficult. You might not have the credit or the know-how or even the support group. Okay, so Rich Day NYC, if you're located here in New York, this will be your support group. Okay, so make sure you come here faithfully, religiously, every third Saturday of the month. But my question to you is, why are you here?
I love your videos.
Yeah.
Okay.
Filled with information. I joined the Facebook group and like it's so unbelievably helpful. So I'm really looking to.
You the workout dude?
Yeah.
Okay, you look familiar.
Yeah.
You doing like that one-legged squat?
Yeah, that's it.
Okay.
I love the group and like I've gotten so much good information and I joined a lot of groups at one time and this one's by far the best. But yeah.
Wait, can you say that in the camera?
Yeah, I love the group. It's so helpful. And basically, I want to take a dive right in. I want to get my business credit, and I want to start using the methods you put in place and make some money.
Excellent.
You know?
So you mentioned business credit. Who here has gotten business credit before? Okay, does anyone of you want to share your story?
Well, I just recently received business credit.
Okay.
Thanks to this guy right here.
If you don't mind sharing the amount.
Oh.
I don't know if you might attack me. Yo, my man, let me.
Well, it's well over $30,000. So
Okay.
I really don't know the number because
It's
they're still giving me more and more. So
But as of now,
as of right now, probably like 40,000.
And when did you apply?
It's a good question. About maybe 2.5, 3 weeks ago. It's actually been really fast.
Hold on, 2.5, 3 weeks ago.
Maybe a little shorter. I'm just
Goddamn.
saying 2.5, 3 weeks, but it's definitely been at least 2 weeks. So
excellent. So we have 2, 3 people. Excellent.
Yeah, I've been trying to get funded for like 4 years now.
And by the way, if you're wondering,
Bank funded.
this guy talking and interrupting Juan Pablo is speaking. This is Louis right here. Louis, he's one of my business partners for 100% Finance. What's up, Rob?
Hey, what's up, Rob?
How's it going? So he's a real estate investor as well. You have 24 units.
Yeah,
24 units.
23. I sold 4. Yeah.
And have you ever used a mortgage?
So that's what I was talking about. Like, I've been 4 years been looking for a bank loan. So because they didn't, I had to get business credit. That helped me out.
So he's creatively financed 24 units, never used a mortgage. So if you're talking about not having the credit or the capital, the know-how. That's all it takes. Okay. So just give you guys like a heads up of what we'll be doing with the agenda and so forth. So about 2:30, we're gonna take a break. We're gonna do a little mix and mingle, a little powwow. We might do some videos with you guys, but I also want y'all to network. Okay. Like I said earlier, I came to networking events. I'll be on attack mode. I I'm finding people who are movers and shakers. Even if they have one rental unit above me, I will befriend that person. Take them out to lunch, to coffee. I will get some drinks in their system. So that way they'll be loose and provide all the information that you need to succeed in real estate. Just to be strategic with it, right? All right, so around 2:30 we're gonna break. Then afterwards we're gonna have Andre. Andre, you can raise your hand. All right, this is one of the original Rich Dad members, friends that I met as well. And what do you do, Andre?
I'm a real estate investor, broker, and developer in New York.
Okay, and you want to have the floor until about 3 o'clock until we close out. Okay, and he's going to tell you about what he does as well as about the market here, just in case you guys are interested in investing in this market. Okay? All right, so any questions before we get started? All right, so we have one reason why you're here, right? Is there any other reason why you're here today? You're in this room. Real estate investing. Why real estate?
I have a property management background, and just as Mr. Rose said, it kind of just feels like it's my calling to get back into it. I'm currently doing accounting for marketing companies, sports marketing, and entertainment, but I'm not happy with it. I watched a ton of your videos, and of course there's tons of real estate videos out there, but for some reason I continue to connect with you with knowledge and everything, so that's why.
Okay, so real estate investing. Anyone else? Any other reason? Jeremy?
I'm here for a lot of reasons, but in a more, nutshell, mentorship to lead me to what I want, the ultimate goal. Like, honestly speaking, I don't really care about real estate, but that's going to be my vehicle to get me to where I want to go.
I like that.
Amen.
I like that. It's just a vehicle. Yeah, that's it. Just an asset, right?
Same here.
Same with you in the background, right? Okay. So I have to disagree with all you guys. Well, somewhat agree with you. All right. The reason why you are here today can be summed up in one word. What's that one word? No, you're frustrated. You're frustrated with what? You're frustrated with either the 9 to 5.
Right.
You ready to stand out, right? Right. You're frustrated.
Yeah, to trade your time for money.
Yeah. It sucks. Don't get me wrong. You know, a day job serves its purpose. Some people enjoy it. I'm not knocking you. So some people are here because you want to do real estate, but you also want to have your day job. I understand that. As long as you enjoy what you do at your 9 to 5.
I know.
But if you don't,
I put in my resignation letter and I didn't even get a job, but I know. I don't even got nothing, but God has shown me so much. I just trust Him.
absolutely, absolutely. So you're frustrated. You're frustrated with what? Being overworked, underpaid for some, these super long, ridiculous commutes.
Yeah.
I don't know about y'all, but I used to travel about an hour and 20 minutes.
Ooh.
From Jersey, yeah, to the financial district.
Oh, wow.
It's up, right? I also was frustrated with the point that I was overworked, underpaid, and that I didn't have freedom over my time or my earning potential. You're capped. And I work for the government.
Yes.
Right? So speaking of working for the government, this is the straw that broke the camel's back for me. I call this the greatest advice I ever received, right? I was working my 9 to 5 as a supervisor for the government. You know the Census Bureau, you heard of them? Mm-hmm. People that knock on your door.
Yeah.
I'd be the guy in the office and another person left and right, left and right, left and right. I've got some more people coming in. So I'll be the people that send to your door, right? And while I was doing that, I love to be competitive. I love to compete. You know, like we're playing basketball, for example. I'm just using an example. I love you, bro.
Yeah. I'm still gonna dunk on you.
Okay. But if I do your crews, I'll do my best to embarrass you. I just love to be competitive, right? So I decided to do that in my line of work. I had a field of supervisors, team of field supervisors. And I was like, you know what? If some of them are competitive like me, I'll create a contest. People who are competitive love to compete. And I said, whoever completes the most surveys in a month, I'll give you lunch on me. Applebee's, 2 for $20. I'll also give you a certificate, and I give you an umbrella that was stashed away in our closet. Low cost, right? Max I spent was $20. Did the contest. Normally around 1 week, we're about 25% complete in results. As a result of the contest, we were 65% completed. So our response rate went through the roof. So, you know, I'm happy about my progress. Head held high, shoulders back. And my supervisor calls me to the office. So I'm walking in there, I'm like, hey, what's up, Lois? And she's like, have a seat. like, oh, appreciate your tone, but all right, I'm gonna have to see. So I sit down, and she said, like this, she said, Juan, what do you think you're doing? And I'm like, getting results, that ain't that what it look like? She's like, getting results? Really? She's like, don't you know who you work for? I'm like, yeah, the government. Yeah, exactly, you work for the government. We have policies, we have procedures, we have protocols, yeah, the 3 Ps. We also have bureaucracy, red tape, a whole bunch of nonsense. And she said, you can't be incentivizing your employees with monetary value. I'm like, but every time we do good, you take us out to drinks after work, so aren't you incentivizing us for monetary value? She's like, yeah, but at least I'm not sending out a mass email talking about it. And she said, you know what? As a result of you doing this contest, I'm writing you up. And I'm putting this in your file. Yep. And she said, oh, and by the way, maybe the government isn't for you.
Oh no.
Yes, that's the greatest advice I've ever received.
Absolutely.
Right? So she didn't say those words, maybe the government isn't for you. Maybe I'll still be there today. Right? Likewise for you guys. You might not have had a supervisor reprimand you where you should have been congratulated, but you should always think that maybe the 9 to 5 just isn't for you. And that's perfectly fine, right? But I walked out that office, I was disgruntled, I was upset, I was dejected, head in a slump. Sat at my desk, just like you mentioned, I immediately wrote my resignation letter. Immediately, and I posted on I ain't turned it in, I ain't that's something else. You know what I'm saying? But I posted on my cubicle wall as a constant reminder that I'm gonna quit my day job in 4 years. I was about 24, 25 at the time. I was about 25, yeah, I think about 25, so 4 or 5 years. I said at 30 years old, I'm gonna quit my job. Didn't know how, didn't have the money, didn't have the credit, didn't know a thing about real estate. The only thing I did was read the book, Rich Dad, Poor Dad.
How much was you making?
Oh, at the time, when I started working, I was making $39,000. But when I quit, I was making $86,000. Yeah. Only that's why I say like it's the competitive nature. It's your brand. So even if you're working at a job you don't like, still do your best. That's why one of my things I say all the time: use your spare time wisely to make yourself wealthy. So while I'm at my 9 to 5, I'm working hard at my job so I can get the promotion. That will help me with real estate investment. But in my spare time, I use that wisely to make myself wealthy in real estate investment. Yeah, so I ended up going from 39,000 to 86 by the time I quit. Yeah. So it doesn't matter how much money you make, you can still exit the rat race, so to speak. All right, but great question. So I ended up going to church, sat next to a young man, and we just happened to be chopping it up. And he talked about, yo, I want to get started in business. I said, yo, I want to get started in real estate. And he said, hey, there's a group in Harlem called Rich Dad NYC. He never been here. He just heard about it, heard it through the grapevine. He said, take a look at it. I said, cool. So I go on the website, I log in, I see a new orientation, show up 30 minutes prior to start. I said, okay, cool. I saw about 600 members. So I'm like, wow, this must be a huge networking event. I show up, I'm one person there. So I had one-on-one time with her son, Dwayne. And Dwayne did just like this. He said, why are you here? Same question I asked you today. And I said, well, I really want to quit my job, but I didn't want to give him the full truth, give him the half truth, because I didn't know him. You know, when you share people your dreams or your true desires, what they do. Oh, you can't do that. Oh, that's foolish, that don't sound right. No, real estate's risky. Don't you know about the market? Don't you know this? So I ain't sure, because I didn't know him. So I just told him my half truth. Well, it'd be cool, you know, do a property too. Get my feet wet in real estate. He said, all right, well, just to tell you about myself, I have, I think, 100-unit apartment complex he had.
101 in Oklahoma.
101, he said he had a post office.
2 post offices now.
2 post offices.
Never seen them.
He has a record label.
Yeah, Soul Trends Records. It's all on his card.
Yeah. So he's telling me all this. I'm like, bro, you just stroking your own ego.
He didn't have a restaurant then, did he?
No, not at that point.
We had 26 single properties real estate.
In addition to the
Before the 100, we went commercial.
Right.
We went commercial because the tenant was very irate with me on the phone. I just happened to be visiting him. And the tenant was so irate, she was so nasty to me after I asked the lady that was in charge of the team in Georgia to give them $100 for a mistake that was theirs, and she was still nasty to me. And Dwayne said, that's it, sell them, mama. And like, no, we work so hard. He said, no, he'll suck and let you know you're babysitting right now. So it's time to go commercial. And we sold them, we sold most of them in one weekend.
Wow.
Because of the way we kept our properties up.
Yeah. So as he was telling me about his portfolio, I'm like, bro, you should just pack stuff on the back. Good job for you. I'm like, but what is it? Yeah, I know, I was just in my head as me thinking all this stuff. So I'm like, what does that have to do with you though? You know? But I understand in hindsight, he was saying that to establish credibility. Okay. So as he was doing that, he said one thing I will never forget. Okay.
Picks on me.
Yeah, I got you, bro. You front and center, man. Who else gonna pick on? You right in the center. So he said, you go be straight out. He said, I didn't even know this dude. Y'all from New York, right?
Mm-hmm.
How do New Yorkers normally respond when someone's all up in their personal space?
You don't really get that.
You don't get that close, right? Right? He was like, my goal for you. Y'all listening? Y'all good?
Yes.
Okay. He said, my goal for you.
That's great.
I'm going to the airport. Mine is to say goodbye to the 9 to 5. And that struck a chord within me. You ever heard of the term paradigm shift? When you're so focused on what societal norms teach you, go to school, get a good job, you know, get a corporate job, whatever, retire when you're old and gray, so forth. But my whole paradigm shift with my day job now. Someone, it was amazing after that small second that someone actually agreed that I can put my 9 to 5. Right? It was amazing. So what I want you guys to do, ladies and gentlemen, is to get a bit more personal. So everyone find a partner. Like now, if you find a partner, like, well, I already got my partner. The rest of my life. Right. All right, but I want you to partner up. Just stand up, please. We got time. This is going to be like a lecture or seminar where we just write notes and so forth. So I want you to find a person. Again, 2 people, so you might have to. Okay. Yeah.
We need to sit by each other or?
Oh no, that's fine. It's short. All right. So, by the way, one thing I love to do is network. Yeah, I heard that old adage before. Your network determines your network. I just thought it was, you know, just some baloney. I'm like, whatever. It sounds nice and sweet, but it doesn't really matter. But I remember I would watch YouTube videos day in, day out. I would listen to podcast episodes. I would read books, all from the comfort of my living room. In my PJs, chilling. A year later, still in the same financial position. Why is that? It's not knowledge you get at networking events. It hit me. But when I attended these networking events, I realized I would meet y'all. This guy who knew about business funding, which I didn't know. This guy who knows about passive income or investing in real property, I didn't know. This young lady who knows about credit, I didn't know. And it hit me. People who are successful in investing in real estate in my market is now on YouTube talking about it. People in this same exact networking event today who own properties in the New York area may not be a published author. But what I said earlier in this event, how many of you guys have done some deals? People's hands rose. So with me being in those networking events, I would reach out to them and tackle load them to the point where their information now became my information that was specific to my market. That's what you do at networking events. You don't come here for the knowledge. Again, you can get that stuff online. You can get that stuff through an ebook, right? You come here for the people, right? And as well as for accountability groups. Like we have Rob in the back. It's one of my business partners. Yeah. So Rob's one of my business partners. He has a tea shop. What else you do, Rob?
I got a tea shop, working on that now. We got some real estate together. What else? I work on.
Yeah, and he was one of my accountability partners in this group. So we would meet, what, every other Sunday, Rob? Pretty much?
Yeah, I think we do it once a month.
Once a month?
Yeah. I don't know, we just ended up drinking.
And the thing with accountability is, whoever didn't complete their milestones, the bill was on them. Right? Yeah, right. So we'll make them pay. Drink after drink after drink. That's your punishment? Correct. So none of this stuff is fabricated. This is what we do every single time. And that's how we all end up getting results. Okay. And we also had JR, he should be here later, and Andre as well. We used to always meet up on a consistent basis to hold each other accountable. So that's what I want y'all to do today. So when I said we had that breakout session, I want y'all to get to know each other. This is important. I might not be here until January, February next year, so at least you can be with another person within the next 2 weeks or the next month and so forth. All right, so let's get back to exercise. So you got your partner, right? Okay, so I want you to look in your partner's eyes. I know that sounds weird, but let's just but no, I'm saying look in their eyes with conviction. Like, I really want you to say goodbye to the 9 to 5. Okay? So I want you to look in your partner's eyes and poke them right below the collarbone. Right there. Alright? Not too hard, alright, but a little soft. Alright? And wait. So, hold on. I want you to look at them, not at me, and say, my goal for you. Wait. Alright. Well, I want y'all to repeat me. My goal, just so that I know the cadence, alright? Everyone here got rhythm, correct? Just so that I know the cadence. My goal for you. Silence. I just want to hear my voice, okay? Just silence. My goal for you is this. We got remedial people in the back. Come on.
Excited.
I gotta make sure you're right. Okay. So my goal for you is to say goodbye to the 9 to 5. So when I say 3, 1, 2, 3, you go up. Not that yet. But when I go on 3, 1, 2, I gotta say it loud and proud.
Both people at the same time?
Yes. Don't forget. Look into each other's eyes. Gaze. Not gaze. That's the wrong word. But look intently. Like my goal for you is to quit. Got it? Yeah. Okay. 1, 2, 3. My goal for you is to quit your 9 to 5. My goal for you is to say goodbye, not to quit. Okay, but loud and proud. 1, 2, 3. My goal for you is to say goodbye to you. All right, one more time. My goal for you is to say goodbye to you. One last time. Well, I want you to really like hope it. Like, my goal for you. Have you ever got bumped at Walmart before by your mom? He's like, did I tell you, you better not ask for nothing again? Yeah, you ever had that? Yes. Like, say it to them like in that respect. Okay? On the count of 3. 1, 2, 3. My goal for you is to say goodbye to your 9 to 5. All right, give yourselves a round of applause. All right? So let me ask you, so Derek, how do you feel about that? Empowering. Okay, I like that. It's a powerful word. How about motivation? Motivational? How about you? Inspired. How about you, sir? You're in the back.
Straight, clear, forward.
Straight, clear, forward. How do you guys feel inspired, motivated, more confident in regards to accomplishing your goals? Okay, so by show of hands, how many of you guys have goals? How many have more than one, multiple goals? Raise them high, keep them up. Yeah, you feel it today, right? Keep them high, wait high. Keep them up. Now I have a question. How many of you have goals? Have you heard the thing tricks are for kids? Well, guess what? Goals are for kids. Psych, they're not. Dreams are. Many people say, oh, I had dreams of being a real estate investor. Oh, I had dreams of having a Bentley truck in my driveway, a swimming pool full of money, which is all good. There's no problems with dreams. But if we don't convert those dreams into goals, then that's the problem. What's the difference between the two? Dreams are not actionable. They're not specific. You heard of SMART goals before, right? That's what goals are. You're taking a dream, and you're adding specifics. SMART is an acronym. S for specifics, M is measurable, it can be actionable, it's realistic, and has a time frame associated with it. So in regard to your dream of being a real estate investor, the way that you make it into a goal, you gotta make it specific. Right? How many units do you need? You gotta make it realistic. Well, if I need $5,000 a month in passive income, is it realistic for me to have 35 units in my portfolio? Yeah. You know, is it measurable? Can you take action on it immediately? Is it realistic again? And does it have a time frame associated with it? Meaning, I want to quit my 9 to 5 in 4 to 5 years. You had a question?
No.
Someone raised their hand and had a question, right? No? Okay. So now that we know the difference between a dream and a goal, my next question to you is this. Now this is for you, okay? So I know you guys have a ton of questions. My next question for you is this. What do you need to know to get started with your dream of being a real estate investor?
Area, specific to area, specific to market cycle, supply and demand.
Okay, so you want to know more information about the market, supply and demand.
Or a particular market that one is looking to invest in.
Okay.
That's some of the key things.
Okay, we can talk about that today. Oh, what do you need to know in order to get started? Or what do you need to have as well? Some people may say, well, I want to get started, but I just need the knowledge. Or I just need the financing. So forth. So yes. So we have the market need to be knowledgeable about the market.
Your personal financing order.
I like that.
Gas, food, cell phone bill, you know, the expense.
Your personal financial statement.
Correct.
Yeah, we talk about that a lot in our events too, because as I mentioned earlier, we all want the Bentley truck. We want to have this huge portfolio of properties. But it's foolish for us to believe that we can actually own $1 million worth of property when we don't even know our own personal living expenses or what a balance sheet is. So you know the old saying, you gotta sweep your own front porch before you sweep someone else's. You gotta do the same thing. You gotta know your own personal finances before you can successfully manage the finances of a business. Okay, so I like that. Market, personal finance, we have another hand? Yes.
Analyzing deals.
Analyzing deals, deal analysis, okay. How many of you guys have access to our deal analyzer, by the way? A few? Do you know how to get access to it? No. No? All right, if you go to our website, you can write this down as well. It's a free deal analyzer. So this is a deal analyzer we use. We actually pay someone to critique it, to approve it. So you might have the outdated version, Ralph, but we updated it now. But it's 100 PF, REI. Simple, you know, real estate investment, REI.com. It's just a short URL from our main website,
RE.
REI. 100PF, REI.com. You subscribe, you can deal analyze those tools. Okay? So it's analyze deals, marketing, personal finance, what else you need to know?
So you said it's updated now?
Yes, yeah. So it's more like the formulas are pretty much fine-tuned. Yeah. So there's the calculations for you. All right, what else you guys need to know? Anything else?
Game plan.
Game plan. Okay.
I think it's pretty important to know your credit score, at least in this business, right?
Credit score for the personal finances. Okay, so let's take a vote. In regard to the market, by show of hands, we only have a finite amount of time. As I mentioned, 2:30, we'll take a break. It's about 2 p.m. now, so I'm going to talk about a few subjects as well, and moves as well. Okay? Because we can get into the subject matter of other topics a little bit later. But I just want to know what y'all need that's pressing to you today. Because this is for you. Okay? So, by show of hands, the market. How many of you guys want to know more about the market?
You said real estate market?
Yeah, like a market to invest in.
An economic cycle, yeah.
An economic cycle. Okay.
And
so
deal,
good.
analyzing deals. That and analyzing deals.
and analyzing deals?
Yeah,
Is
we'll
that,
get to
is that
that.
pop- anyone else in here wants to know more about analyzing deals?
Yeah.
A few hands.
And can I add one more thing to that?
Sure.
It's how to get that deal flow as well.
Deal flow. Anyone unfamiliar with that term, deal flow?
Yes.
Having a consistent amount of deals flowing through your inbox, so to speak. So deal flow? Negotiating the deal. Okay, excellent.
So this is my last one.
Sure.
I want to learn more creative ways as far as seller financing, and I know there's a ton of ways of financing. I found myself stuck. Only know 1 or 2 ways how to convert a seller financing deal.
Creative financing?
And deal structure.
Okay, by show of hands, how many of you guys need creative financing and deal structuring? Creative financing. Yeah, if you can't hear me, let me know. Okay, I appreciate that. So creative financing and deal structuring. How many of you guys want to know about that?
Absolutely.
Okay. All right.
Commercial, how you go about acquiring commercial buildings yourself. I know it's a little easier to get lending, so like if I could take some business credit and go with a down payment through that, and then go through a traditional lender, that'd probably be the easiest way, right?
Okay.
So I'm just curious how you do it, because I saw a video, it was great. You were riding around your Mercedes on the phone with someone from the bank, and you were about to buy like 50 units, I don't know. But like, that's kind of my dream, to be in that position.
Okay. Commercial. How to do commercial real estate? Okay.
That's why I'm here.
But just correct me if I'm wrong. The majority of you need to know how to do your first deal. Is that correct?
Yes.
Your first deal. So how to get your first deal done? Is that accurate?
Yes.
I see everyone like, yeah.
All right, by show of hands, how many wants to get their first deal done? All right, so that's pretty much
Okay,
all
so
right.
I'll get into that first, and then we'll get into the market as well. Okay, so I came into that same realization, right? How do I obtain my first deal within a year's time? So I'm gonna give you a formula. So again, we're doing this off the cuff, okay? All right, but I'm gonna give you a formula of how I did it. The first thing I had was the creed in my resignation letter. So I want you to write that down. Yep, if you're familiar with that. Creed, the creed and the resignation letter. Creed. So it might sound weird. You're like, the creed, bro? What is this, a cult? Yes, it's a culture.
People thought we were
Right? Yeah.
doing drugs and all for free.
Right. So the creed is as follows. If I do not close on my first investment property by December 31st, 2018, I ought to be ashamed of myself. I'll repeat. If I do not close on my first investment property by December 31st, 2018, I ought to be ashamed of myself. So you take that creed, you put it on your bedroom door. Every time you exit your room into your bedroom, you read it and you recite it. You visualize it day in and day out.